This is an exclusive conversation with the Foreign Minister of Denmark, Minister Lars Rasmussen. Thank you so much for joining us here in India today. Bilateral meetings with the Indian counterpart, the Indian side, a major MOU on mobility agreement between the two countries. What can one expect from this mobility framework?
Well, first of all, I'm very pleased about the development in our bilateral relations. When I served as Prime Minister some years ago, we hadn't that kind of cooperation with India which we have now. It has improved tremendously. I still remember my first visit as Prime Minister when we started negotiation about coming closer, and now we have established this strategic partnership, and we took an important step forward today by signing this mobility and migration agreement, which will set up a more predictable framework for Indians who want to work in Denmark or study in Denmark. And in a very concrete manner, it will give them some advantages. For instance, if you are a young Indian applying for a Danish university, our main rule is that when you are graduate, you have to leave unless you have a job.
Yes.
And we will extend that, so we will give PhD from India like 3 years to settle down in Denmark. So that's a very, very concrete result of this kind of cooperation. And I discussed with the Minister of Foreign Affairs to take a further step, because this is a general framework which allows Indians to knock at our door, but who will do it? Will it be many of you? I don't know. So in order to ensure that we actually have some young Indians, we will now explore, especially in the healthcare sector, whether we could organize a much more concrete and practical cooperation. And I think the vision would be to set up a kind of Danish facility linked to one nursing school in India.
Is there a sector number of Indians that Denmark would be looking at inviting or expecting them to really go to Denmark?
Generally, people are welcome. I mean, if they are skilled and they buy into our society model, and the Indians normally do. I mean, we have quite a big diaspora environment in Denmark already, and we face absolutely no problem to fit easily in. But if you want me to mention some sectors, I would say the whole green tech sector. This is a comparative advantage. In Denmark, we are pretty good on this, but we are also facing demographic challenges, and we need more skilled workers in that particular field. So that is an area of interest, and then of course the whole healthcare sector as well. We have made tremendous progress in Denmark over the last 20 years in terms of treatment of cancer diseases, for instance. But now we have facing some kind of headwind due to demographic. So that is definitely an area where we should cooperate.
Minister, I'm seeing Ambassador Freddie over here asking us to conclude, but I have to take this one last question with you on the conflict Israel-Hamas war and how the Red Sea commercial shipping lines are being impacted. How is Denmark looking at the situation and the role that the international community has to play over here with the casualties in Gaza?
We are very worried about the situation in the Red Sea. I mean, we are a small country, but a big maritime nation as India. And the right to free navigation is a basic right in our global community. And if we don't manage to uphold that one, it comes with huge implications in terms of world trade, etc. So I want to commend India for stepping up, having deployed naval ships to the Red Sea. We have done the same thing in a smaller scale. We have sent one Danish frigate. We have working heavily to organize a EU operation as well. We have deployed an officer to the American-led more offensive operation in that area, and we coordinate closely with India. And I really want to commend India for this, because I realize that so many countries in the world are depending on a safer situation in the Red Sea, but too few of them are actually stepping up. There are a number of countries whom I know support these operations without saying it publicly. And bearing that in mind, it is important that a country as India participate here. So it's not only the Europeans that are there.
On that note, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
here on New Delhi.
Thank you.
That's an exclusive conversation with the Foreign Minister of Delhi. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India.